Today, the message of feminism is everywhere, being imposed on millions of women and young girls around the world. The message is that being independent and dominant boss bitches is the best life, and that men are useless or a threat. Hey everyone, this video is going to be a little bit more personal. If you follow my channel, you know I don't always have the best things to say about the outcomes of feminism, especially in the modern context. This is because for some time, I drank the feminism Kool-Aid and was deceived by their lies, double standards, and duplicity. I believed I needed to be independent, completely self-sufficient, and not reliant on a man for anything. This was my reaction to a father who was not present, who did not protect or provide, and was not a good role model for my mother, my brother, and myself. With my father absent, I became the man of the house, and this hardened me. I took on a dominant mindset, became a career woman, and believed it was best not to have feelings, emotions, or attachments. It went so far as not wanting to get married or have kids through my late teens and 20s. I was on a path of complete selfishness. My whole world revolved around me and my career and my dreams and goals. I wanted to make this video because I want to share how I completely changed my beliefs about life, men, and women's role in society to reach some strong, independent women and girls like my past self who believe they are living their best life and who think the good times will last forever. I know I'm not alone. Many women of my generation have been misled and conditioned by the modern feminist movement, and it needs to stop. The modern feminist message appeals to young women because it pushes the idea that women can have it all, and women can do it all, and that the future is female. And life without men is even better because they are oppressing women from fulfilling their full potential, reaching all of life's opportunities and deterring women from reaching their best possible life. Being constantly told that women are struggling and are victims is not a very hopeful message. The movement is so focused on making women believe they are oppressed victims, not fulfilling their full potential, that they deliberately omit any discussion that some women might want a fulfilling life, raising children and caring for a family. In the feminist view, any female ambition to be a mother and stay at home to manage the household is not acceptable, not good enough, and must be degraded. I just turned 31 a few weeks ago, but it wasn't until my 30th birthday last year that a significant change occurred inside me. Literally on my 30th birthday, suddenly everything changed. I wanted kids. I wanted to be a mother. I wanted to get married, and I wanted to settle down and raise a family. It was the weirdest feeling because there were no external influences responsible for this change. It just happened within me. And with it, I had a whole new perspective on life, what I wanted, and my role as a woman going forward. For so long, the joke in the family was that all my old baby clothes that my mother's been holding on to should just be given directly to my younger brother because I never wanted kids. But now I want kids and a family almost more than anything. I can't explain how it happened, but I do know that if I came to this realization in my late 30s or early 40s, it would be a very sad reality and likely not a possibility to start a family.
And it's quite obvious. It's like at 19, it's all career. By 30, that's just not the case. It's not the case. I don't know if I've seen a single woman who I didn't think had a psychological problem, who hadn't seriously flipped in their attitude towards the balance of family and career by the time they were 30. And then you see lots of women who at 40 haven't had kids and perhaps wanted to, and that's not a pleasant situation.
I feel so fortunate that my selfish views changed at the age they did. The outcomes of feminism degrade the family. But family is everything. In my opinion, the most beautiful thing in life is the gift of life. And one of the most important things you can do is create life and raise that life into adulthood and pass down all your learnings, experiences, and love. If a woman wants to become a CEO and is willing to work to achieve it, she should be supported. But equally, if a woman wants to give herself completely to being a mother, wife, and supporting partner, she should be given equal value and support. A life of unity between men and women has so much incredible potential. I hope we can put our egos and pride aside for a second to realize what many of us are missing. Because I just cringe when I hear women go on about how independent they are and how they can take care of themselves. But life should not just be about you and your needs. That was taken care of when you were a child. But now that you're an adult, the focus should be about being selfless, giving and caring for others. And raising a family does this in the most beautiful and nurturing way. If raising a family is not for you, whatever the reason, that's your decision. But to the women who are undecided, I would just caution that the window is short. An unfortunate biological reality, but the truth. So you need to think now, when you're 20 to 35, about the life you want and the people you want around you at the age of 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and hopefully beyond. We are so fortunate to live at a time where the average life expectancy is about 80 years in developed countries, and potentially longer by the time we reach that age. Yet the window to have a family is very small. So think long and hard about potentially the most important decision of your life, and one you certainly don't want to regret. Because for so many independent, career-focused women, by the time they reach the top of the corporate ladder, make partner, earn a PhD, land their dream job, or achieve their career goals, it's often too late or have limited options. So what will you have to make you happy when your career is over?
Most young women are taught badly that the most important thing that they'll do in their life is their career, and that's simply not true. It's not true for most people, and certainly not true for most women.
I certainly wasn't taught that myself. I feel like I'm doing quite well in my career, but I still have pressures. People who are saying, you know, when are you actually going to succeed properly by having a baby?
Yeah.
I kind of find that slightly offensive. I'm 38. I feel like I've got through my early 30s without almost luckily, when I look at what my friends have to deal with their children. I almost feel a little bit blessed. What do you say to that?
Well, I would say that it starts to get pretty lonesome in life after 45 if you don't have a family, you know, and so it's easy to consider the utility of an intense career, and like you have a very high quality career too, you know, that's something that marks you out from let's say more typical people, and perhaps that's worth more of a sacrifice. But you know, you're going to live till you're 90 in all likelihood, and it's not easy to consider your life across its entire span. And there's something to be said for developing a very close-knit, intimate community around you if you can manage it. You have children, and then you have grandchildren, and that, to me, what I've experienced in my life, although I've had a very productive career and a very interesting career, it's definitely been the case for me that my family has been more and more important to me as I've got older, and I don't think that that's a uncommon experience.
This is just an unfortunate, sad example of a career-focused woman completely focused on herself, blinded by the reality of her future lonely and empty life that awaits her. Today, the message of feminism is everywhere, being imposed on millions of women and young girls around the world, especially in the West, through books, Hollywood movies, universities, news media, corporate advertising, and celebrity culture. The message is that being independent and dominant boss bitches is the best life, and that men are useless or a threat. Feminist ideology wants to override our natural, inherited biological needs and desires as women. This can be very damaging and hurtful, and can lead to a life of misery, or as some men's groups call it, hitting the wall. My father's failings led me to believe that I was the only one that could protect myself, to live a life completely content being by myself. And the only way to not be disappointed is to never be dependent on anyone for anything. I now realize men and women need each other and complement each other, and society is most robust with that unity. I was lucky. Something inside of me woke up at 30 and gave me time to turn my life around and change my priorities and values. But this doesn't happen for all women. I hope this message gets out there, because I wish someone shook me and told me this sooner. To conclude, I would just like to caution to the women and young girls who aspire to the feminist morality, beliefs, and goals that they are not necessarily fighting for you and your best interests. They may say they're fighting for equality, sometimes under the guise of female superiority or men as a patriarchal enemy. But what does equality even mean when men and women are different? When we have very different biological needs and reproductive roles? Why are we expected to be the same as men? To forget our feminine nature, or as they call it, our weak traits? Why should we not uphold beauty standards And why should we turn our backs on our motherly caregiving qualities? Why should we do these things when we know with thousands of real life examples that doing so has serious negative consequences? I'm really thankful I changed my thinking, and I hope this inspires other women to think about the life they want to live on their terms without fear of others telling them that their natural choices are wrong. That's it from me on this video. I'd love to hear from you if you've made a type of 180 change in your life. For example, going from a completely independent woman to now being in a team of 2. How and why did that happen for you? And if you're a forever independent man or woman, what motivates you to live this way? Thank you so much for watching. I have new videos every single week, or at least I'm trying for every week. Travel is not making it super easy, but I will do my best. If you did get value from this video, please give it a big thumbs up. It really helps the algorithm get it out to more people. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.